Hello, everybody. And yes, Jeff, there is a chance of being in focus at the start of the stream. We've done it for once. How are we, everybody? Welcome along to the stream. StreamYard have added a new feature, a little like job description type thing. It's called Headlines. So I have put for mine waffles about Hull City on the internet. And for our guest today, I'm not sure what his is, but as we put the banner on, we shall find out. Lewis Perry, welcome to the stream. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I don't have one. I know what that leave is.
Shall I create you one?
Can do. I have no idea what it's like, but I have no idea what it is. I saw it. I'm like,
Waffles about Hull City
on the internet.
Let's go with that. Well, how are we, everybody? Welcome along. Up the bloody Tigers, up the Tigers. Hi, Shocks. Hi, Cakey Games. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Chaps Lad. Well done on the focus. Yeah, nice. Lewis, is your PC any better? Any progress?
I don't know. I'm on the phone again. I think I've been on the phone for a while until I figure out what the password is on my computer. And I can find a charger that fits that one.
Well, that is a hurdle to get over. Will reckons Darlow better start tomorrow. Can't believe people say he shouldn't. Brilliant keeper.
I don't think he does. I don't think he should. I'm not saying not the keeper, but I think Ingram has to keep his place.
He has to earn his stripes.
And that's exactly what Liam said about anybody. He even said, as good as Greaves is, he has to work himself back in. I mean, I don't think Greaves plays tomorrow because I think he said, I think from what I've heard from my mate, Greaves said, he met Greaves, I think it was, I don't know if it was before, after the game on Saturday. Greaves said a few weeks, not in terms of the injury. He said something along the lines of, I'm obviously out today, injury, blah, blah, blah. And he thinks he won't be in. He said probably out next week as well, not due to injury. But Liam,
based on the fact other players have come in and their place.
Well, he doesn't really think of that. He said more like the fact that Liam said, like, he wants just him to be like his best, really, like his best fitness. And I mean, Liam touched on that last week in his pre-match that, as good as Greaves is, it's a hip injury. It's around like the hip and back, so it's going to be sore one for a few weeks. So he wants him in the best frame of mind and the best.
He wants him in the best state.
And pain-free. So
yeah,
I don't think we see him tomorrow, but he'll definitely back Stoke.
I think we see him on the bench tomorrow. Hi, Henry. Oscar is a great striker, but we kept Longman there after Blackpool to face Rotherham 1-4-2. As Liam says, it's about performance and not reputation. Exactly that. Can't wait to play FIFA in the East Stand concourse tomorrow. Interesting one. I don't think Darlow should start. I think he needs a bit more time to settle in. Still think that Rosenior will want to give him his debut, especially with the game being at home. Ingram has been good, though, to be honest. Thank you. I don't get the hate towards Matt Ingram. I don't get the hate.
I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not, one of them that will say he's the best keeper in the league because he's like that. But I've always said he's a good shot stopper. It's just his distribution that I'm really questioning and how risky he is at the back.
I think he's getting a little bit more comfortable with playing the new system. And I think the competition from Carl Darlow will only accelerate his progress and will only make him better. Question I have for you, Lewis, is what do you reckon about Nathan Baxter? Because Baxter seems to reckon he's gone back to Chelsea and will never be in a Hull City shirt again. And if he does, the entire world will be shot in front of their families.
He's not back at Chelsea, as far as I'm aware.
There's been no official confirmation. That's what I was getting to. There's no official confirmation that he's back at Chelsea. So what is going to... Because as far as we're concerned, he's a Hull City player.
But I think
what happened?
I think if he had come back to Chelsea, the confirmation would have been done before deadline. That's something.
Absolutely.
I think it has to be, for starters. But the problem with if he's not is why haven't we loaned loads of Tyler out?
Yes, good question. Liam said he's still a Hull City player. Okay.
Oh, well,
That
there we go
basically-
then. But there again, it goes back to the question: why is loads of Tyler being loaned out then? Because loads of Tyler won't play unless he's planned to go back to the under 21s, which I don't think would do him any good. But you know, because he's what 20? He's 23, I think. No, 21.
Let's have a look. Timothy Lowe.
No, he's 20. He's 20 actually, isn't he? I think.
He was born in 2003.
Oh, so he's 20.
He's...
No, 19. No, wait.
So he was born on the
20.
13th of February 2003. So I think he's 19 at the moment with 20 in 10 days.
Then, okay, yeah, that does. If I don't get why I loaned him out then.
Yeah, I think we should have loaned him out. I'm going to be honest.
I think we should have done because I think especially should we activate this clause on Baxter.
Nope.
Well, we haven't yet, obviously, but it should we? Because I believe there's one. Well, there was anyway.
Ashley says you could win the playoffs with Nathan playing, and Baz would still be saying he's back at Chelsea. Love Baz, but he's wrong over the Baxter situation. Baz Cooper is under, and I'm gonna put this state. I'm just gonna say my piece here about Baz, because what people don't understand is from his editors and from his bosses at HDM, at Hull Live, at Reach. He is under a hell of a lot of pressure to have an exclusive story, to have something to talk about pretty much every day of the week. Now, as a journalist, that is difficult. And Phil Buckingham was under the same pressure. And obviously, and as a journalist, knowing the industry like I do, wanting to go into it, it's the sort of environment where you don't just want to be putting out a story for the sake of it, when there isn't a debate to be had, when there isn't an exclusive to report. But Baz is under pressure to get every single little bit of information he can, and even if it's just 10 seconds of a phone call, he has to make the most out of that 10 seconds, whatever's in there, that he has to. And because of the time it takes for him to make that phone call or get that text message, to then write his story, have it passed by his editors and get it out, that's perhaps a lot of the reason why he gets stick for being incorrect on things. For example, Malcolm Ebiowei. Baz said there is nothing wrong with that deal and it will be done soon. Couple of days later, Liam Rossignol says that's going to take a little bit of time because he's injured. Baz Cooper is told something by Hull City or his source at City. How is, if they're not related to the playing squad and the transfer team, that source, and they just hear stuff as they're walking around the offices, how is Baz meant to know and get the information that Malcolm is injured? And he's got a fair stick for that. And I think the pressure that Baz is under, he does an incredible job to get as many stories out as he does and to get so much information. And he's always, people slag him off, But for every single Hull City fan, whenever a transfer rumour comes out, he is the first person any of us at in a tweet say at Baz DJ Cooper, is this true? Any truth in this? Thoughts? He's the first person we go to. Peace said. Peace said.
I think also though, like he gets a lot of stick from City fans when Liam says something that he hasn't said. Like, for instance, Malcolm's deal. There's no wrong with it. It will be done soon. Just because he's injured, doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with the deal. You know, he's told what he's told. The deal's done, which it would have been done. It's just he wants to get his rehab done at Palace, and then come up here. That doesn't mean the deal is off, unless obviously it's a long-term injury, and then obviously it will be.
Yeah, totally agree. And you know, the whole Xavier Simons thing. Baz,
frustrating. I mean,
it's frustrating, but people were going at Baz all throughout the window at certain points about it. How is he meant to know the answer to the most intricate of intricate questions that are asked? And on deadline day, I'll admit, on the off chance when it didn't go through, I asked, "What do you know, Baz?" Because
possibly.
On the off chance he might know something, let's ask the question. Because chances are, at 11 o'clock on deadline day, he's not going to get much information.
He probably wouldn't know all night because I'm pretty sure the office was near enough closed at City.
The only people who have been in were Tan, Lee, Liam, and maybe Justin Walker.
Well, yeah, but
They're all that will have been in.
You see, I think the worst thing about this situation with Simons is the fact that, and this is what I don't agree with, Chelsea shouldn't just be focused on Enzo Fernandez. They should have more people around the club focusing on other deals. Yeah, they may want Enzo Fernandez. Don't get me wrong, you want the player, this, that, and other. There'll be a host of clubs going in summer should they not have concluded it on deadline day. But don't just have it on focus on one person. Have a host of people focus on different ones, such as the Amari Hutchinson one. Because he won't get minutes now at Chelsea. No way.
Not at all. The Xavi one, the Amari Hutchinson one, the Hakim Ziyech one, and Enzo Fernandez coming in. They should all have different people working on them. It shouldn't just be everyone's working on Enzo Fernandez and then all the rest can wait. That shouldn't be the case.
No.
Ultimately, Chelsea are a complete clusterfuck under Todd Bowley. Chaotic.
They've lost a chance to develop Amari, who seems a great player. Don't get me wrong. Ziyech, he's just not going to play anymore, is he? Like, let's be real. Not like Mudryk, Reke, Sterling coming back, Pulisic coming back. The list is endless.
It's clear that Chelsea operationally haven't checked the same boxes as they did under Abramovich. People won't know the role she did, but Marina Granovskaya, who was basically Roman Abramovich's right-hand man, she was responsible for so much of this stuff. And it's clear that on deadline day spelled that out so clearly, she has not been adequately replaced. That needed a director of football / sporting director, the manager, the chairman, head of recruitment, scouts, everything working on different deals. And sending the wrong paperwork over to PSG 3 times. That's just pathetic.
I don't think I was the case. I just think it's something that they didn't get it in on time and they just wanted to try and hide it with, we had this to do, this, that, and we were just focused on Enzo. Focus on Enzo, but have the big man, which is Todd and Graham, and then have your scouts or your headed youth or whatever, focusing on your Amari Hutchinson,
Other deals. Your Amari Hutchinson going out, your Hakim Ziyech going out. As long as the people at the top have those deals agreed and have fees agreed, everything else should take care of itself with just simple admin competence.
It's a mess because to me, we don't get Summers back in summer now.
No, I think we definitely do.
You think?
I think we definitely do.
Because Summers likes up here. He's told Liam that. But Burnley were in for him.
His time will come. His time will come.
Yeah. But
lesson of the day, money doesn't equal common sense. Absolutely agreed.
Yeah.
Hello, Hostile Hen. Been a while. Evening, Ollie. Yeah. Let's move on. Team news. New signing Carl Darlow is in contention to feature versus Cardiff. Jacob Greaves, pelvis, and Ryan Longman, glute, are both fully fit after injuries. Benjamin Tete is suspended for 2 more games after his red card versus Sheffield United. He will return versus Norwich City on Valentine's Day. Take the missus down to Norwich. I'm sure she'll love it, everyone. New signing Malcolm Ebiowei knee will be in full training on Monday, ready to make his debut for Hull City away versus Stoke next Saturday. Demetrius Pelkas knee has returned to training, as have Adama Traore and Aliyah Sayadmanesh. But Liam made it clear, with those 3, he is in absolutely no rush to get them back playing first team games because of the nature of the injuries and the fact they are long term, and he doesn't want those injuries to reoccur. Nathan Baxter, ankle, and Vaughan Coville, knee, remain unavailable. We're getting better. Ali coming back, Traore coming back. Demetrius Pelkas has made a brilliant recovery. He's about a month ahead of schedule. That's brilliant.
Have we required to drop anybody from our team with obviously with these injuries? Or with the outgoing of Scott, Williams? Well, Scott wasn't registered, but Williams, I think that was the one that left who was registered.
So let me have a look. Let me go to City's registration stuff.
Because obviously we filled that last spot. We obviously started with Christie. And obviously we'll need to register Malcolm Ebiowei. Obviously needs to register Darlow as well.
So City at the moment, I've got the document here.
Adama obviously needs thinking
You
as well.
reckon Malcolm or Pelkas could start next week? Probably not Pelkas, but maybe Ebiowei. Pelkas won't play for a few weeks.
Yeah, so Pelkas won't go. I think
I'd say expect to see Dimmy at the earliest the West Brom game.
No, I would. I'd maybe say Professor on Bristol.
I disagree with that. I think Rossini will take more time because he knows we've had such shit luck with injuries at the start of the season, and he won't want them to come back. So at the start of the season, this is who we registered. So we registered Baxter, Coyle, Christie, Doherty, Elder Estupinian, Fleming, Greaves, Ingram, Jones, Longman, McLaughlin, Mhand, Pelkas, Figueiredo, Seri, Simons, Cynic, Slater, Smith, Tufan, Vale, Williams, and Woods.
Yeah,
we had Cartwright, Charlton, Coville, Harry Fisk, Ollie Green, Hall, Hines, Matty Jacob, Will Jarvis, Callum Jones, Leake, Leckie, Lottatala, Lovick, Macaulay, Mills, Nixon, Robson, Sayadmanesh, Sims, Smith, Snellgrove, Taylor, Wallace, and Wood.
Forget what I was saying then.
Playing first team, we can get rid of Aliyah in terms of thinking about registration, and we can get rid of Lottatala. We can discount them. So now,
and this new lad, should he come first team anytime soon?
So, well, just for this season, because Cartwright's out on loan, Coville's injured, Leake's gone out on loan, Mills probably won't feature, Robson probably won't feature.
I mean, this new lad that we got from Oldham.
Ford. Yeah. I thought you said Andy Smith. You sort of broke, and I just heard a bit of a mumble. But Andy Smith on loan. I don't think Harry Vaughan will feature, but you never know. So we will then have. So I think for the second half of the season, we'll register Ingram, Coyle, Elder, Greaves, Jones, Figueiredo, Tufan, Doherty. We don't need to register Syed Manesh, Ebiowi.
Or do we? Because we'll only be 22 this year.
Pardon?
We'll only be 22 this year.
No, it's 25.
No, won't he be 22? I think won't.
No, I think it counts from the start of the season.
It probably will be actually, yeah. Or the start of 2022. 23 even, not 22.
So that's the first. So we've got 9 with Ebiowi, 10 with Baxter, 11 Woods, 12 Longman, 13 McLaughlin, 14 Traore, 15 Estupinian, 16 Pelkas, 17 Seri, 18 Darlow, 19 Slater, 20 Tete, 21 Christie, 22 Simons, 23 Aaron Connolly.
Oh, it's
so that would leave us with 2 extra spots. So we could. So Syed Manesh could be one of those, and Lottatala could be another one of those, which would take us up to 24.
No need to register Lottatala, is there?
No need to. Right.
I'd say get a centre back in. Get a free agent centre back, please.
Interesting one, that.
Please, because I was begging for a centre back all window. Not because maybe not in terms of starting, but maybe like bench and just kick to buy us out.
Does Leake need registering if he's out on loan? If any player is out on loan, they do not need registering for us. Any player that any other club brings in on loan, regardless of age, has to be registered. So even though Vale, Simons, Salah at the start of the season, all under 21, because they're loan players, a rule change at the start of the season meant we had to register them. So at a guess, I'd say we've got 22 players registered. And Racine has massively slimmed that squad down.
What the hell happened to my FM?
Because you think at the start, because we've still got Fleming, who'll come back and he'll be registered next season. Dokan Sinek, he'll probably be registered as well. Who else is out on
loan? Smith.
Tyler Smith, contract up at the end of the year. Interesting one for debate.
I've already said my thoughts. I've said this for a while. I said this when we was getting likes of Malcolm in, extend his contract by 12 months and send him on loan.
Who else is out on loan? Cartwright, I don't think we'll need to register.
No,
Felly won't be back until January next year. Andy Smith, how old's Andy Smith?
He's 20, I think.
Is he 20? I think he might be 20. Let me have a look. Oh, no, he's 22. He's 22 now. 11th of the 9th, 2001.
So
next season, if he's going to play, he needs registering.
Go send him my loan, I reckon. Again.
Jevon Mills, he was September 2003, so he's all right for now, if he plays. Will Jarvis, 17th of December 2002. Jimmy Sims, January 2004. He's chill. Who else potentially?
Kerble's fine.
Robson, 2002. At the start of next season, he'll need registering.
Kerble's fine. He's 18, I think.
Matty Jacob, 3rd of the 6th, 2001. Callum Jones. Where's his City? Don't have his date of birth on there, which is convenient.
Oh yeah, we reached 2 as well. At least it's under contract.
So let's move on after that long-winded ish debate. Move on to Ref Watch as I'm out of focus, which is fantastic. So while I am, we'll get motoring through some of this. Referee is David Webb, 2 liners Jonathan Hunt and Matthew Jones. 4th official is Sebastian Stocksbridge. Let's move on to stats then. These are taken from our last game against QPR, where surprisingly we had less of the ball. Don't see how that works. And I don't see how we have less passes than them either, not the way we knock it about. Shots, though, we've beaten 3 shots on target, 3 goals, although one of them was an own goal, so pinch of salt. Had to do a less defending than them, which makes sense. But we did do more fouls. Very, very interesting there. I've clicked the wrong button. Head-to-head battles. Let's have a look at Cardiff's team. In their last game, their first game under Sabri Lamucci, Ryan Alsop started in goal. It was a back 4 of, I'll zoom this out so you can see most people on one. So at the back, it was Perrin G, or however you say it, or Perrin, or something like that on the right. Jack Simpson left back, 2 centre backs, Cedric Keeper and Mark McGuinness. In central midfield, it was Ryan Wintle, Roman Sawyers, and where's Joe Rawls? There's Joe Rawls. Then it was Steve Ogier on the right, Callum Robinson up top with Mark Harris on the left. But they did bring in Sori Carver on deadline day. They have got Gavin White, former Tiger from our League One season. Andy Rinamotta, Ruben Caldwell. Do you see these staying up, Lewis?
I think they do have a skin in their teeth, and I mean bad skin in their teeth. It would not surprise me if they do go down. Not that I'd be arsed anyway, because they shouldn't be in our league, but whatever.
Yeah, they shouldn't be in our league at all. Anyway, let's move on to current form then, shall we? Well, we'll start with Cardiff's. We'll remove their 2 Leeds FA Cup games because they're not Championship opposition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starting off with a 0-0 draw against Coventry, then a 1-0 defeat to Blackburn, a 1-1 draw with Wigan. God, what does that say about their quality? 1-0 defeat to Millwall and a 1-0 defeat to Luton. Looking over at us then, 1, 2, 3, get rid of our Fulham tie in the FA Cup because it's a Premier League side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 1-0 win over Birmingham, a 4-1 win over Wigan, 1-1 draw with Huddersfield, then defeat to Sheffield United before we beat QPR 3-0 at home last time out. And in the league table then, that leaves us in a very, very healthy 15th. Since Rossinia's come in, we've pushed well clear of that drop zone. 11 points that gap is now. And we are, 5 points outside the playoffs. But most teams above us do have games in hand.
You know what makes me sad? And my mate pointed this out to me earlier. We beat Reading. We beat Sunderland. We beat Blackpool. We'll be in the playoffs right now. Or very near them.
We'd be very, very, very near them.
It just disappoints me. That does.
If we get a result, we get a more than a point out of Huddersfield, which we didn't really deserve.
No, we didn't.
We deserve to win against Blackpool. We deserve to win against Reading, and we deserve to win against Sunderland. That's what. That's an extra 3 points against Reading, an extra 2 against Blackpool, and an extra 2 against Sunderland.
Yeah,
that's 7 points.
That's just what we need. It's frustrating, but yeah.
You think
What can you do?
If we've got over that home form hurdle, we're cruising. We are cruising. And I think we're over that now.
You think?
I think we've got the monkey off our backs, and I think we'll have another convincing performance in this one. Jeff doesn't reckon Tyler Smith will come back. Marcus says that the spaghetti was brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think he's that bad. Like, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not somebody who sit there and say he's classist and another, But he's okay. He's good to have in the squad. Because you got to think, Pelkas goes back. Yeah, I think we might get him on permanently, but he goes back. Malcolm Edward goes back. Yeah, it's only 2 losses, but
But then we have Joe Cancinic, and I reckon we might go back in for Conrad De La Fuente in the summer.
Yeah, I'm sort of disappointed with that one. I think that's another one that, and that's what I do agree with when people say that he made that that Baz sort of misled that one.
I don't think Baz misled that one at all. He wasn't supposed to foresee the paperwork getting all bottled up by Olympiacos and Marseille. But moving up to the top of the league table, then Sheffield United and Burnley are clear. Middlesbrough are in 3rd now, but it's so tight around the playoffs. It's so tight. Between 3rd and 15th, there are 8 points. That's how tight it is. Between 3rd and 16th, there are 8 points. That's how tight it is. It's so tight. I'm going to just remove Lewis while he's off camera. Wait, hey, Jeff. If Sky have their way, well, that's West Brom and Burnley already. We're getting 0 points from at home. So they just better not fucking televise anymore. Cardiff are done. Yeah, Cardiff are mudded. Cardiff are, wow. They're interesting, aren't they, Cardiff? They are very, very, very interesting indeed. While we're waiting for Lewis, then we'll move on to Around the Grounds. We're on Championship Matchday 30, kicking off in 12 minutes' time. 11 and a half minutes now, actually. West Brom face Coventry at the Hawthorns. Tomorrow, 2 early kickoffs. Norwich versus Burnley and Rotherham versus Sheffield United. 3 o'clock kickoffs tomorrow. Hull City versus Cardiff. Reading versus Watford. Preston versus Bristol City. Millwall versus Sunderland. Middlesbrough versus Blackpool. Luton versus Stoke. Swansea versus Birmingham and Huddersfield versus QPR. On Monday, the 8 o'clock kickoff is Blackburn versus Wigan. And we'll move on to memorable match. Still waiting for Lewis to return. It's only going to be one game, isn't it? May the 4th, 2013, Hull City 2, Cardiff City 2, what was then the KC Stadium. Ignore that. The KC Stadium. Oh, wow, what a day. 0-0 at the break in a nervy tie between the already promoted champions and the aspiring promotion in 2nd place, Hull City. Fraser Campbell, though, came on at half-time, and he did what he did in that typical fashion, where he just tries to make life difficult for every single football team that he doesn't play for. We then levelled it from via Nick Proschwitz, and Paul McShane a couple of minutes later gave us the lead. We then had a penalty won by David Myler, taken by Nick Proschwitz and missed. And then Cardiff went up the other end, scored a penalty after a handball on Abdullah Faye. Nicky Maynard dispatched it. And because of a 15-minute delay at Watford, fans piled onto the pitch thinking we'd done it. And the players and Steve Bruce just ran and either hid in corners somewhere in the stadium or stood in front of TV screens. Big Abdullah Faye, bless him. David Myler and Liam Rosenior report that he was crying in the toilets because he thought he cost us promotion. But Leeds did us a favour at Watford and prevented them getting enough points. So we went up in 2nd place, and Watford had to settle for the playoffs, in which they did not taste playoff final glory. Having that very, very famous moment against Leicester in their playoff semi-finals, where Knockout takes, Almunia saves, Knockout takes again, Almunia saves again. Stunning scenes. Now here come Watford. Forestieri. Here's Hogg. Deeney! Do not scratch your eyes. But then they lost to Crystal Palace. Anyway, our team that day was David Stockdale in goal. The back four was Liam Rosenior, now manager of Hull City, Paul McShane, Abdullah Fate and James Chester. On the wings were Ahmed El Mohammadi and George, was it? No, it would have been Robbie Brady, wouldn't it? David Mader and Stephen Quinn, the midfield two. And then it wasn't Simpson starting up front alongside George Boyd. It was Nick Proschwitz. This is wrong. Yeah, this is wrong. Nick Proschwitz started, not Jay Simpson. Nicky Proschwitz, eh? Nicky Proschwitz. Wow. I was at that Hull City Cardiff game, my only time on the sacred pitch waiting for the Leeds Watford result. My dad wouldn't let me run on the pitch. I was fuming. This little 7-year-old me was not happy. I wanted to go on the pitch. But he would not let me. If that happened now, I'm going straight on there. I'm going straight on. KC over KCOM over MKM. Probably agree. Lewis says he'll be back shortly. KCOM over KC and MKM. Interesting. I still think I prefer the Kingston Communications Stadium. Not the KCOM, the KC. The KC. And we'll move on to last time out, which was Liam Rosenior's first win as Hull City manager, where Demetrius Pelkas gave us the lead early on. Just after half-time, Callum Robinson levelled the scores, and former Tiger Gavin White scored for Cardiff to give them the lead. Then a quick-fire double, 2 goals in as many minutes from Regan Slater gave us a 3-2 victory down in the Welsh capital. Our team that day was Nathan Baxter in goal. Back four was Cyrus Christie, Tobias Figueiredo, Alfie Jones and Jacob Greaves. Holding midfield pair of Jean-Michel Seri and Ryan Woods, with Greg Doherty and Regan Slater playing wide, Demetrius Pelkas as a number 10, and Ryan Longman starting up front. The bench was Matt Ingram, Louis Coyle, Ozan Tufan, Durkan Sinek, Sean McLaughlin, Brandon Fleming, and Tyler Smith, with Liam Rosenior in charge. And our record against these lot in recent times is pretty good. We've won our last 3 against them, been undefeated in 4 of our last 5, and the only defeat came in that disastrous relegation season. So right at the end, it was the result that relegated us. So where that one doesn't really count, let's be honest. We're past that hurdle now. That's the anomaly in these last 5. So on the 28th of September 2019, we drew 2-2 against them. Was that the Kamil Grzycki ridiculous free kick one? I think it was, wasn't it? I'm fairly sure that was one where Jordi Device scored a late goal and thought we'd won it and then we threw it away. Or was that Wigan? I know Grzycki scored a decent free kick quite early on in the season. It might have been that game. Don't know. Then we lost 3-0 last game of the season in July 2020, COVID. Then after our League One season, we came back up, beaten 1-0 away last season. Beaten. No, was it 2-1 at home? Yeah, it was 2-1 at home, wasn't it? I got it in my head that it was 3-0, but no, it was 2-1. Aidan Flint scored late on, didn't he? And we beat them 3-2 at their place earlier this season. No sign of Lewis yet. Okay. Boothry clear. Boothry overall. KC clear. 50 grand. Joe, what are your opinions on Slater's recent performances? He wasn't good enough versus Sheffield United and not much better versus QPR. I think both him and Doherty have been blowing a bit hot and cold in recent weeks. Ultimately, I think it is just a bump in the road, and they are both good players. But I do think they have been quite poor in recent weeks, and I do also think that this increased competition for places could spare them on. Especially with Ozan's form, he came in last week and looked brilliant. People slagging off his work rate. That work rate has gone right up. He looks fitter than ever. Yeah, I think he's looking really, really good now. Ryan Woods is still waiting in the wings on the bench. Xavier Simons is favoured well by Rossinha as well. Syed Manesh has still got to come back in. Traore's got to come in. Who else is there? Tete's still got to come in. Connolly's not fully fit. Still not got Ebiowi in yet. So they'll face challenge for their spots. They will do. We need to see Simons more. Unpopular opinion. People should be allowed to not put Slater in the team without half the fan base raging out. Yes, I do agree. Simons to start over him tomorrow, maybe? No, I disagree. With that. I also went to City vs Cardiff in 2018, made a video for YouTube. In the description, I tell the story why I always thought Cardiff and Hull were big rivals. Interesting. Can't see Slater and Doc being here in a year's time. I definitely can. Lewis is back just in time for shared shirts, where I'm going to let you give an opinion. David Marshall. His early years at Hull City specifically.
I mean, is there anything else to say but good keeper? I don't know who said that about Slater and Doherty, but what have you been taking today? Because I don't know why you don't think they'll be here in a year's time, because Slater's good, but I just don't know where he could go after us. He's definitely not Prem quality, and I think he struggles getting side above us at this stage. And Doc, I don't get that one at all. I don't get the Doherty one more than that one. People's opinions of this, but they'll both be here next year, I think.
About Marshall, 7-1 Tottenham, dreadful memory. My dreadful memory of David Marshall's first season at Hull City is the Everton home game. He came out to clear a corner and tried to punch it clear, but instead of punching it, it hit the back of his hand because he misjudged it that badly and he punched it into his own net. But he became a championship number one under Nigel Adkins after Alan McGregor left, and he was solid that season. He was with Cardiff from 2009 through to 2016, 278 appearances for them, a lot of those coming in the Premier League. He left Cardiff to join us under Mike Phelan. He was with us through to 2019 when his contract expired. In 67 appearances, he obviously didn't score because he's a goalie, for goodness sake. I think Lewis has gone again. So without him, we'll move on to my predicted 11. And get ready, guys, to put your score predictions in the chat for the next segment, the final segment. So my predicted 11, Rossinha's 4-3-3, or it might be the diamond in some sort of formation. It'll be these 11 players. In goal, Matt Ingram. Right back, Cyrus Christie. Two centre-backs, Alfie Jones and Sean McLaughlin. A left-back, Callum Elder. Holding midfield, John Michael Seri, the captain. In central midfield, Greg Doherty, and Regan Slater. On the right, Ozan Tufan. On the left, Aaron Connolly. I don't know why it's flashing up with Longman, but that should be Aaron Connolly. And up top, Oscar Estupinian. So unchanged. It will be in some sort of variation. It might be in a diamond where Tufan's are number 10 and Connolly and Estupinian are up front together. It might be in a 4-3-3 where Tufan plays wider and Connolly play wider. Don't know. We will soon find out. On the bench, Carl Darlow, who in the game of squad number out of curiosityness, we are without a number 12. We are without a number 14. We are without a number 23. We are without a number 25. So I think Darlow will take number 25 That's my guess. So Darlow was a sub-goalkeeper, Louis Coyle, Jacob Greaves, Tobias Figueiredo, Ryan Woods, Ryan Longman, Xavier Simons. So just to go through it, because there was a bit of flip-flop in there between stuff. In goal, Ingram. Right back, Christie. Two centre-backs, Jones and McLaughlin. Left back, Elder. Holding midfield, Seri. Central midfield, Doherty and Slater. Right wing, Tufan. Left wing, Connolly. Up top, Estupinian. Bench, Darlow, Coyle, Greaves, Figueiredo, Woods, Longman, and Xavier Simons. That's what I think. That's what I think. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. No, Greaves is a crime against football. Joe must be crucified for this. Anyone who acts if this is everyone who acts even somewhat like this, quiet down. Agreed. Hopefully we see Xavi. Liam wants to bring him in for good, but if we do, it would be a fee due to it probably costing us 2 to 5 million. Interesting. Right, we do predicted scores now then. Let's have a look at some of yours, because I got you to put them in chat. Jakey Games reckons 4-0 City. Ashley reckons 3-1. Jakey again 4-0. Dean reckons 3-0. Chapstad reckons 2-0 with Estupinian and Christie the scorers. Will reckons 3-0. Connolly, Tufan, McLaughlin the goal scorers. Ollie reckons 3-1 win. Lewis, what are your thoughts?
We win this comfortably, definitely. I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0 win. 2-0 win. Joe's coming with 5-3. Jeff has come in with 3-2. I reckon we win it 3-0. I'm confident. I'm really, really confident. These are shite. I reckon.
No, these are awful. Well, I mean, we did this to what I thought was our decent QPR squad.
Nope. Get an early goal. That's the key. That's the key.
These are worse than them. So this is going to be.
Much worse.
Should be. Well, I might eat my words after the game tomorrow, but this should be reasonably easy.
Ooh, no game is easy in the Championship. Final one, Hostile Hen reckons 3-0. Oh, we'll do a few more. Isaac says 2-1. Right then, Lewis, thank you very much for joining me. And I hope you enjoy the game tomorrow. You can stick around in StreamYard if you want, or you can just clear off. It's up to you. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you tomorrow for the Matchday vlog. Looking ahead to this game. I hope you're all excited for it, because I am buzzing to be back at the MKN once again. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow for the Matchday vlog, where hopefully we've done what the Welsh do to sheep to Cardiff City. They're sheep shagging bastards. They know what they are. See you later, everyone. Goodbye.